Has jiu-jitsu translated to your love life, to sex life? Do you have any special moves in the bedroom? Feels like daddy. So if you're a daddy, then who is the guy that raised me? who is that imposter?
I don't know who your daddy is, but I'm daddy in general.
What's your deepest, darkest secret that you've never shared with anyone ever?
There's a period of time where I hated jiu-jitsu.
Oh, that's a good secret.
Yeah, like I don't tell many people, but yeah, there's like through the start of my brown belt, I absolutely hated jiu-jitsu. I hated every minute of training and all that.
What kept you going?
Out of love. I think COVID for me came at like a perfect time.
Whoa.
Where I could actually, like, I didn't feel pressure and I could take my foot off the gas for a minute just to like refine the enjoyment. And then when I was forced not to train, like having that itch to want to train, that kind of brought back the love. But yeah, I hated jiu-jitsu for a minute there. Now I'm obsessed. Now I love it.
When did you start, Kit?
When I was 10.
Yeah.
So I started like 2009, 2010.
Nice.
Around that time, yeah.
Unpack this daddy thing. I watched you compete. You had the daddy hat, the daddy shirt. I wanted the interviewer to be like, to press you and to be like, tell me. So I'm gonna do that since I finally get the opportunity. Tell me daddy, please.
Daddy is a frame of mind. Daddy is like a way you hold yourself and that like alpha mentality of like, dang, like I'm daddy to everybody, I'm like alpha to everybody. Like just having that mentality of when you're rolling, like you're in charge. Like when you're training, you're in charge. Like it's that kind of mentality.
What's your love life like?
Oh, I have a beautiful girlfriend at home. Home is Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne.
Melbourne, in Australia, Melbourne, yeah. But she's at home at the moment and it's absolutely freezing cold there. Yeah. So she's hating it that I'm in the sun and San Diego's glorious weather. But no, man, she's, honest to God, one of the best things that ever happened to me. You know, I go out there and I do the thing, but she's the brains behind it all. She's the one that actually does a lot of the tape study and a lot of the, like, and pushes me, make sure my nutrition is right, make sure I'm taking what I should be taking supplement-wise. Like, it's just, she looks after me. Has
jiu-jitsu translated to your love life, to sex life? Do you have any special moves in the bedroom?
I think we try and keep jiu-jitsu on the mats and then everything else different. Because otherwise, we're competitive, man. We're both like hella competitive. Yeah. So as soon as we start like bringing jiu-jitsu home in places where it shouldn't be, we get competitive.
She can't compete with you.
She can try.
She can try. And that can lead to the mental warfare then, which is more dangerous in my particular experience.
Yeah, it's always a different battle doing jiu-jitsu with like your partner than it is doing jiu-jitsu with a random person on the mats. You know, there's competitiveness and it's hard to let that go sometimes.
I do, yeah. My baby mama now, she of course wants to train, but she doesn't have any chill. That looks almost too easy. Kill. You're not finished. She's not finishing her submission. She's like being nice. You can beat me up. Go ahead.
It'll find the funniest thing to get.
Yeah, like a Boston crab.
Exactly.
There we go. I've interviewed a lot of different people. Most people that don't have any jiu-jitsu experience, they say something like, I'm afraid I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
What's that ego or that mindset where they think, is it the I see red and I'm gonna just bust and like hurt someone type of mindset? Is it the same?
I think like maybe like when that switch gets flicked, when it goes from like, oh, we're having fun to like, damn, we're going competitive. Yeah. And like if I get something, I'm gonna wrench it. like there's that icy red kind of thing. But I don't know, for me it's like if I'm like, oh fuck, I might injure you, it's more if I do something stupid.
But you've earned the right, you know what it's like to act, like, you know what it would take. I'm talking about people that have no experience and then they come in, they're like, well, I don't want to squeeze because I don't want to hurt you.
I think that's ego, man. I think that's like there's videos everywhere of like asking full-grown guys that have never done any martial art in their life, oh, you think you can fight? And every dude always says, yeah, I think I can fight, with no martial art experience. Yeah. And then you watch them fight and you're like, dude, you can't fight. Is that exactly? It's like they're throwing punches from like behind and they're like open palms and you're just like, dude. But I think it's that like a little bit of like ego mentality of every dude thinks that they're an MMA fighter.
Yes.
Like you sit in a bar while the UFC's on and what do you hear everybody saying? Oh, fucking, I could have done that. Oh, you should have taken him down in, you know, in the first minute. Oh, fuck, you should have thrown that like right hook a little bit faster.
But there's a girl ego that I'm just now learning, now that I'm interviewing people under the context of jiu-jitsu, where I don't know if it's fake. I'm trying to ask you because I can't get a read on it. Do you express yourself creatively? Do you draw, paint, play music, anything like that?
I used to play a little bit of music. I used to do guitar and then gi kind of mangled my fingers and my hands, so now it's so hard. I used to do a little bit of drawing back in the day. I actually used to do some acting back in the day.
Hey.
And not many people know that about me. I actually used to do acting that barely anybody knows.
Did you do any commercials or anything?
No, nothing like that. I actually did a little bit of theater stuff way back in the day.
What? Tell me the play, tell me the role, please. And if you did a musical, you're going to have to hit a number.
No, I love musicals, but I can't sing to save my life. Okay. Like when I was a kid, I did Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
And I was the little girl in Mary Poppins. Yeah. Really enjoyed that. Dang, I've done, and then other ones were just like theater performances, less singing, more just acting.
Do you have like a move that you're known for in the gi or in jiu-jitsu in general?
I think my closed guard game is definitely what I'm most known for. Like my overhook closed guard game is definitely
overhook. You're nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of like an overhook game.
So you don't worry about getting the elbow across the midline. You go for overhook and transition to a butterfly sweep. Yeah,
so butterfly sweeps from there for sure. Like half butterfly, I'm a massive fan of.
Yeah.
But like overhooks to triangles, overhooks to arm bars.
Cool.
Even just like using like a De La Riva, reverse De La Riva to get to closed guard and use overhook series from there. Like.
Oh. Holy shit. When she actually turned it on, that's really scared. Genuinely scared me. What is God?
I don't have the biggest like religious experience through the like older part of my life. Like I don't really go to church or anything like that. So I don't really necessarily communicate very often with God to that capacity, to the way that most people would.
But God is real, and God you can communicate with. That's possible.
I'm more towards the ideology of like what will be like. You'll be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. I really like that kind of way of thinking, not to the extent of like you can do nothing and reap all the rewards. Like everything you're doing and everything you're working towards will lead to what it's supposed to lead to in the future. Like that kind of way of thinking. I do train a lot of Atos, and I do actually like how Andre does speak about God at the end of classes and his perspective of it. And even though I don't necessarily share that in-depth religious experience that he does, I like how he expresses his passion towards God and his passion towards, you know, you'll be where you need to be and God will make sure that you're there when you want to be there. But it's definitely not as far as like, I don't know how much I believe in a God that's sitting there all day, every day, kind of putting his will towards the earth. But
yeah, but a general direction, a general purpose. There is a way to do you have any spiritual practices that you return to maybe a couple times a year, daily? Like, is there a meditation or a stillness or some sort of practice that connects you to the bigger thing?
I do I used to do a lot of like breathing exercises before competing, especially. I can be quite an anxious person sometimes, especially before competing. So drawing back to that, I think is a really like healthy thing. Like kind of drawing yourself back to center can be really helpful and very like, calming. Being like grateful and doing gratitude, things like that. Every now and then I'll come back to if I feel myself being a little bit more negative towards certain things, like those kind of practices. I'm also like really superstitious in certain things.
Interesting. Like what? Do you have to like touch a doorknob?
Like things like that. Not like I have to. Some of the things are just super silly. I have to wear like certain underwear before I compete. Like I have to have certain jewelry with me. Like do certain mantras. You'll see me like when I'm competing, the warm up will stay fairly like consistently similar. I'll have to have like a blue Powerade and a banana with me. Like all just these little quirky things
So
that make no sense.
superstition around competing mostly.
Yeah, lots of superstition around competing.
That's interesting. So how much would it cost to buy those underwear? Just for the viewers at home.
Priceless, man. Priceless. Priceless.
Dude.
That's the price of glory, man. I can't be giving that away.
You retire $1 million.
So that's the retirement plan right there.
Dude, keep me in mind. Or I mean for the general viewers. Thank you so much. This has been Rolling with Adele. Adele, do you have a fighting name besides Daddy?
No, it's just Daddy. But my Instagram handle is honestly just my name, Adele Fornarino.
Fornarino?
Fornarino, yep.
This has been Rolling with Adele, Daddy Fornarino.
Too easy.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Oh.